For more than 24 hours now, the Rockdale County community of Conyers has been waiting to see what the impacts of Sunday's chemical fire at Biolab would be.
And tonight, all eyes are still on that facility as we speak, and for the people living in that area, they're hoping that the conditions get better for them. So for most of the day, thick white smoke has been pouring out of the Biolab facility. The fire is out right now, but the big question tonight is, when will this smoke finally settle down? We have live team coverage for you tonight, starting off with Molly Oak, who's live in Rockdale County, where officials just gave an update. Molly?
Hey guys, so officials say that the evacuation orders and shelter-in-place orders for parts of Rockdale County are still in place, but the fire chief wanted to make sure everyone knew that even though you still may be seeing that haze and smoke in the air, that the fire is out. Now I want you to take a look at your screen. This is video we got from the county from this afternoon with a closer look of what's left of the Biolab building. County's fire chief says that fire started just before 5:20 a.m. yesterday and then rekindled a couple hours later at 12:30 p.m. She says while they were fighting the fire and removing debris, the roof and several interior walls started to collapse. Now, the director of Emergency Management Agency says officials are working with the EPA to figure out what air quality is needed for Rockdale County and determine if the shelter in place is still needed. The EPA advisor says the EPA is currently monitoring air quality at the site of the fire in the current evacuation zone and beyond that area as well.
We didn't see any concentrations of chemicals of concern. The primary chemicals that we are concerned about or monitoring for is chlorine and hydrochloric acid. We didn't see concentrations of those chemicals in the air that would exceed an action level for us, or that would advise, or that would seem unsafe to the public.
Now, that was on the last 12 hours of data. He's expected to get that next 12 hours here in a couple of hours. That's when the county is expecting its update. If they decide to do a press conference, we'll bring it here to you live on 11 Alive and our streaming app, 11 Alive Plus. Reporting live in Conyers, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
All right, Molly, thanks for that update. Well, people across Metro Atlanta have expressed concerns about what's in the air and the long-term health impacts of the Biolab fire.
Yeah, you can see why they're really concerned about that smoke. 11 Alive investigative reporter Rebecca Lindstrom has been asking those questions today. She joined us live now from the newsroom with what she's found out.
We know the EPA has detected chlorine in the air around Biolab, but we don't know the concentration or if any other chemicals were released. The company is required to submit what is called a safety data sheet, so regulators have a better understanding of the potential impacts. We need to know the chemicals, the quantity, and in what form they were stored and released. After it was hit with water, are we tracking a powder, a liquid, or gas? In the meantime, though, if you smell something or see unusual dust or debris in your yard, don't touch it, report it.
What I tell people to do after a chemical disaster is you call it in. You let somebody in an official capacity know, the county, and you call them and tell them, I found these chemicals or materials that are in my yard. I think they fell from the sky, or I have video that shows they fell from the sky, and that you don't touch them. You get officials to investigate.
And if no one comes?
You call again, and you call again.
Today, I sat down to talk with Purdue professor Andrew Welton, an expert on disasters and environmental chemistry. He spent months assessing the damage after the train derailment in East Palestine. Now, while these are very different situations, he says the need for detailed answers remains the same. The air quality might be, as they've said, fine, but the EPA and local counties doing the testing should also be able to tell us how they got to that conclusion. When residents who have been evacuated return home, he suggests calling your home insurance company if you still have concerns to see if it will pay for in-home testing of your carpet walls or even soil. And finally, he says, don't shrug off your experience. If you are feeling unwell, report it. It is important information as regulators figure out the next steps.
Certainly some good advice tonight, Rebecca. Thank you. Well, between reports from Federal and Rockdale County, we have counted at least 3 fires at Biolab and Conyers in the last 2 decades. That includes the fire of this past Saturday, but records showed the safety concerns extend far beyond those incidents. 11 Live's Grace King is digging through safety records from the Environmental Protection Agency, Chemical Safety Board, OSHA, and more. So, Grace, you've uncovered quite a few violations here.
The reports I found show a pattern of safety violations, like exposure to toxic chemicals and a lack of precautions and training. The neighbors I spoke with say something like that with that kind of safety history doesn't belong in Conyers.
We were moved out of there pretty quick.
In 2004, a massive fire at the Biolab plant in Conyers prompted road closures, evacuations, and safety concerns.
A shift in wind may cause trouble for DeKalb County.
Rockdale County has reported several fires since.
One time, okay, we get it.
Right.
But the second, third time, at what point do the officials say, wait, we have a problem for our community here?
Andre and Cherie Kellogg live about 6 miles from the Biolab plant. We spoke with them virtually about their concerns as they shelter in place.
This is serious and could impact the entire metro Atlanta area.
Records show the safety problems extend to workers too. In the last 20 years, OSHA cited Biolab 18 times for violating federal safety standards. In one instance, a chemical production operator received burns to the hand and thigh from sodium hydroxide. Another incident exposed employees to chemicals such as pool sanitizer and chlorinating tablets in 2017. The week before, an employee lost 2 fingers when they got caught in the machinery. The Kellogg's say that's unacceptable.
Why would our local officials be okay with that type of a scorecard? None of us can go to our regular full-time jobs and have multiple offenses and still have a job.
That is correct.
It's not okay.
And in a statement this morning, Kit Consumer Products said its top priority is ensuring the community's safety. They own Biolab, but did not respond to any of my questions about the Kellogg's concerns or their safety history. Live in East Atlanta, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
All right, Grace, thank you. And we are constantly working to get you updates tonight on this developing story. We can send you a link right now with everything we know. Just text the words chemical fire to the number here on your screen, 404-885-7600. We'll get that information sent straight to your phone.